Hi, my name is Bert Casaboon, and I'm here to talk about my sustainability project in my hometown, the borough of Haddonfield. I think that there are many ways to move communities towards sustainability. My particular area of expertise, my passion, and my mission is to do that through bringing sustainability to transportation. In particular, pursuing complete streets. So I put together a presentation which I shared with my borough officials, and I'd like to go through that with you to explain my approach. Basically, complete streets is a term that incorporates the improving the intersection between people and their community. That is making towns more people-friendly, more walkable, safer, accommodating more modes of travel, in particular pedestrian travel and, of course, bicycles. So the concept of complete streets is to design and manage our urban areas so that it's very easy to get around by means other than the automobile. So I frame this as complete streets in support of livable communities like Haddonfield. As it turns out, New Jersey is probably on the leading edge of communities that are trying to implement complete streets. And the typical way to start is by implementing a complete streets policy. That is my first goal in my community, is to get the borough commissioners to implement a complete streets policy. As it turns out, Haddonfield has a lot of complete streets. It's a very walkable, people-friendly community, but there's more that can be done. So that is part of my mission. Many municipalities within New Jersey have already adopted complete streets policies, and so it's easy to, I think it's easier for any community to join the club and also do the same, like Haddonfield. We have lots of streets like all communities. Many of them are wide. It makes it very easy for driving because we have an auto-oriented urban form. But while most streets have sidewalks, some do not. And that is a notable deficiency in promoting a healthy lifestyle, promoting bicycling and walking, and making it easier and safer for people to get around from their residential neighborhoods to other points of interest, the downtown, the train station, schools, shopping, and so on. We do have lots of driveways and sidewalks, but some of our sidewalks are not continuous, and I think we can do better. So what is a complete street? It's a street designed and operated to enable safe, attractive, and comfortable access for all users. Basically, it works by looking at the space that you have between curbs or between building fronts on a street and thinking about how to allocate that space in a way that accommodates everyone who wants to be there. That includes a pedestrian zone, perhaps a green zone for some landscaping. It may include parking. Probably includes the auto travel lanes and maybe a bus lane if there's room. And perhaps a bike lane if that is found to be a viable activity and there is room between on the street. Traditionally, we've always had complete streets. If you look back in the early days of our development of our cities, we accommodated streetcars and lots of people before automobile took over. So we've sort of, as the automobile has come into wider and wider use, we've come away from making streets places for people. There are many benefits to complete streets besides the obvious, providing room and facilities for people to get where they need to go on foot. There are economic benefits. A lot of redevelopment can occur when you make special accommodations for people. pedestrians. There are environmental benefits. We can reduce vehicle miles traveled in our vehicles, reducing emissions and greenhouse gases and so on by finding and supporting other modes of transportation. There are health benefits. An active lifestyle includes walking more, and we certainly know that we are seeing almost an epidemic of obesity in our country, and it's probably due to diet and our level of activity. So we need to get out of our cars and walk more. Certainly complete streets are safer wherever you make accommodations for people within the streetscape. It's safer, reducing conflicts with automobiles and making the automobile and its driver aware that there are people on the street and that they need to be safely permitted to be there. And of course, quality of life. We can create many attractive, livable places if we think about how people fit into our urban places. Now, the elements of a complete street we talked a little bit about in terms of the allocating space between building frontages or between curbs. We typically think about sidewalks as an essential element of a complete street, but it also includes crosswalks, bus stops if there are bus activity in the street. Landscaping makes the street an attractive and livable place. Lighting is important, especially if there is nighttime activity. It adds to safety and security and a sense of well-being if a street is lit up. On-street parking is usually part of a vibrant area. If it's a commercial street, on-street parking is typically part of the flow and life beat of the street. Bike lanes. Bikes are becoming more and more popular as not just a recreational mode of travel, but for actually commuting and getting to our destination. So the more we can accommodate them, the more people will use them. So maybe that's a case of build it and they will come. Medians can work very well if there's room. They can be places for traffic calming, for landscaping, and for pedestrian areas, pedestrian refuge areas when crossing a busy street. So the idea is to accommodate all of the user's needs when we design or redesign a street, thinking about everybody who is there, everybody who wants to be there, and how to make them comfortable. Another interesting element of a complete street is the green streets movement. Green streets is typically a technique where the street is designed in such a way as to minimize stormwater runoff and to capture it and manage that runoff on site, thereby reducing the amount of runoff that is going into stormwater systems, which carry sediment and pollutants into waterways, and ultimately create problems for water quality in our surface waters wherever we live. So I'd like to see green streets become also a major component of the complete street. The benefits are many and the design opportunities are always there. So that is my short presentation on complete streets. I hope to be meeting with my borough officials and borough commissioners and taking them through a whole procedure, a whole process to implement complete streets policy and eventually implement those policies by actually influencing the design of streets going forward. Thank you.